Welcome to Pride in Parsippany. I'm your host, Mayor James Barberio. And with me today is my colleague and good friend, Ann Grossi. Ann Grossi, like myself, grew up in Parsippany. And you are one of the founding members of the Hills of Troy Association, am I correct?
Yes, I am.
Great. Well, Ann, just give us a little history of yourself. You know, I know you were on the council with me, and that was a great time in Parsippany. We ran together. And go ahead.
Well, like you said, I grew up here in Parsippany, and I love this town. I came back, and I'm raising my family here. My daughter's in college now, so we have that empty nest syndrome, but I'm keeping myself very busy as the Morris County Clerk. Prior to that, I was, like you said, I was on the council for 5 years, and I was council president for a period of time. And I can tell you that there's no better learning field than being in Parsippany to move on to other adventures, like going up to the county. Wasn't my plan, but it kind of just happened. And I was a freeholder for 3 years, one term, and then I ran for county clerk when my predecessor was decided not to run again.
Right. Well, that was Joan Bramhall, another
Yes.
great clerk.
Yeah.
I think you're a great clerk.
Thank you.
I know you deal with 39 towns. I mean, a clerk is a leader. There's no doubt about it. You have to deal with 39 towns, 39 elections, 39 every types of thing. What's your daily routine? I know it has to change every day, but
Well, I have 38 employees. We have several different divisions: elections, passports, all of the land records, notary, our veteran ID program, and also the county ID. Those are basically what my function is, what my office takes care of. But as the clerk, I just want to give you a little history. As the clerk, I'm one of 4 constitutional officers, which means that the job is written into the New Jersey State Constitution. It's myself as county clerk, the prosecutor's office, the sheriff's office, and also the county surrogate. I am elected for a term of 5 years, and the only person who isn't elected out of the constitutional offices is the prosecutor, and he's appointed by the governor. We do interact on various things and work together on certain projects. The county clerk's office has been in existence since 1739.
wow.
I am the 21st county clerk, so that tells you how long county clerks stay in office. Bertram Mott was probably there in that position for the longest, for close to 50, maybe 60 years.
Wow.
So he was like born and became the county clerk, I guess, but he was there for all of those years. I'm the second female to be elected as county clerk, so I'm very proud of that. I like the idea that I could be a role model for other young women who are interested in becoming more involved in their community. There's nothing more fulfilling than working for the people that you live
Right.
with.
Well, I would imagine one of your largest responsibilities has to be elections.
It is.
Registrations, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
it is, because obviously if something goes wrong with the election, it's a monumental disaster. But what my office does is a number of things. We prepare the ballot. We prepare and mail out the sample ballot, the face of the ballot. We also prepare the ballot. What you get as the sample is also what goes onto the voting machines. We are responsible for sending out the absentee votes, ballot applications. So I encourage people, if you cannot get to the polls to vote, there's so many ways for you to do that. Send in. You can go right online at my website, www.morriscountyclerk.org. Go to elections, and you can pull down the absentee ballot, fill it out, and mail it in. So you can vote by absentee ballot. You can also come into our office and vote 45 days ahead of time, which would be that is April 25th. So from April 25th up to Election Day, please, if you can't get to the polls, you're taking a vacation, you're going on a business trip, come to my office and vote. It's very important. This year is going to be particularly important because we have the presidential election. So we are gearing up for double the time and double the amount of everything. On top of it, the ballot that we have to produce is going to have all of the county committee seats. So we have 96 voting districts. So there's 2 machines for each voting district,
That's a lot.
which is well over it's like 739 voting districts. So the ballots have to be created for each town. And not only this time each town, but also for each district.
So that's a lot.
So, and everything has to be done right. And we work very closely hand in hand with the municipal clerks. So our job is to get the vote by mail ballots out, get the face of the ballot done, make sure all the names are done correctly, everything's spelled correctly. Get the tapes from the machine on election night, to get the tapes from each machine. They all go to their own municipality, to their clerk. We have couriers that we deputize to come to each of the 39 towns on election night and pick up those tapes that come out of the voting machines, along with the paper tapes. Then they're transported back to my office, where we calculate those tapes and come up with the number for each.
Think how a lot of work that is, because if you come to Parsippany, we have 39 districts.
Yes, it is.
So
you're the largest, you are the largest district that we have.
Right. So then,
And it takes 2 people to come and pick up the tapes
yeah,
here.
because you got to go to each this area that
Right.
the voting poll places. That's a lot of work. This question here, because absentees. If someone applies for an absentee and never fills it out, and because you can't send it in when, I guess, 7 days after, can they still come in and vote?
Yes, anyone can come in and
All right, so
vote.
they
Even
can, okay.
yes, they can come in and vote if they don't fill out their absentee ballot. They can come in and vote. They can actually go to the voting location and vote, but they would be voting on a provisional ballot.
Okay.
And what that does is sometimes people forget that they voted. They forget they filled it out and they already voted. In that case, they vote on a provisional ballot. Those ballots are kept in a locked bag, and then they are counted. They are cross-checked with the voting books to make sure that the person didn't actually vote at the poll. And then if they didn't, then they're counted as their vote. Because we really work hard not to disenfranchise anyone from voting.
That's good. In my very first election, I won by 8 votes, and then I got 4 provisional, which gave me 12. And they were important. I'm glad they let them vote.
Right. I just want to tell you that people often get confused, but they think that the county clerk's office is responsible for all of the voting responsibilities. We are not. We share those responsibilities with the Board of Elections, and the Board of Elections is responsible for getting the machines to the voting places, voting locations, and also the training of the poll workers. My office has nothing to do with that.
Okay.
We come in after that all of that is done. We do not count the vote by mail ballots. The Board of Election counts the vote by mail ballots, and also they count the provisional ballots. We only tabulate the machine votes that we get. Then, of course, they count them, and then they send us the numbers, and then we put the numbers into the machine so that we can tabulate the right amount. But we don't actually count those. We just get them from the Board of Elections. And one of the things that I'm particularly proud of with the elections is that we've upgraded our program so that you can now get voting information on all of the districts in Morris County, even down to the local districts for the county committee seats, online. It's really a fabulous program. It's upgraded, gives you the information in real time. Now, I want to stress that information is not certified, because there are things that sometimes will change. For instance, if a tape doesn't read right, it may appear that all of the districts are in, but they're not. And we know when a tape doesn't read right. And there's a number of reasons. And so there's a number of reasons why that can happen. And I don't want to blame poll workers, but one of the reasons is that either the tape might have been taken out too soon, so it's not going to read, or there's some kind of malfunction with the equipment. So in that case, then we have the paper tapes where all the numbers from each of the machines are printed, and we have to manually put those numbers in. So sometimes you will see numbers go up and down, so they can change from what's originally posted, but those would be the reasons why they change.
Do you have any administrative and supervisory responsibilities to the Freeholder Board?
I have no.
So you guys are separate?
We are completely separate. I do not report to the Freeholder Board. I report to the voters as a constitutional officer, and my office is a constitutional office. I am completely separated from the Freeholder Board.
Okay, so, all right.
I mean, we do talk.
Yeah, I know you talk. I mean,
we're not enemies.
Area.
Yeah, we do talk. We work together.
Now, you do the passports and processes, right?
Mm-hmm. We are a passport acceptance agency for the U.S. Department of State. And I would recommend that everyone who has a passport that is expiring, that you should come to our office early if you're planning on using it, because we've received notification from the passport agency, the Secretary of State, that it's going to take, they're expecting such an influx of people coming in and renewing their passports that normally it takes 6 to 8 weeks to turn a passport application around by them. It's going to be much longer, so do not wait if you have to have your passport renewed. And also in New Jersey, which is going to affect New Jersey residents who rely on their driver's licenses to get on planes to fly, within our nation, that is, you're no longer going to be able to use your New Jersey licenses. By, I believe it's in July, they will no longer accept New Jersey licenses. So if you're planning on traveling in the United States, you need to come in and get a passport or a passport card to travel within the United States. I think that's important for people to know.
Explain, because I love the program that you created, Operation Give Back. Can you explain that to the residents here in Parsippany?
Yeah. Operation Give Back was something that I wanted to do when I ran for this office. I felt that there was not enough being done to help our veterans, and so it was one of my projects. And Operation Give Back is a place where we've gone out to get vendors and stores to offer a discount to veterans. It's a one-shop location where veterans can come to see all the stores in Morris County, all the service providers in Morris County that offer discounts to veterans. And in order to get the veterans discount, you should come into our office and get the county veterans card. And our county veterans card safeguards your discharge papers, veterans discharge papers, which is very important because, as you know, there was a fire some time ago, and a lot of veterans don't have records of their discharge papers. You can't go back to the armed services and actually get them. This would protect your discharge papers in perpetuity. It's as good as having an original document. So when you come in, you bring in your DD-214s, and we scan it, and it's maintained in our computer system. It's private. We don't give that out. It has the same privacy rules as any as the federal government has. And the good thing is that sometimes you need the veteran papers to get certain benefits, and if you can't find it, you can't apply for them. Right. Or your children may want to have a record and they can't find their dad's or their mom's record, and if it's with us, they can come and get a copy of that record as well.
I remember when you brought that forward, my confidential aide, Michelle Sylvan. She was so excited because she works hand in hand.
Right.
Well, she handles all the veterans programs in the town for me, and she does a magnificent job. And she was really
Michelle. We gave Michelle a plaque honoring her for her efforts. She really brought in about 70, 80 applications, I think, for her from the town and surrounding areas. My only disappointment is that we sent letters out to all the towns asking them to participate, and some of them obviously didn't do as well as Michelle and Parsippany did, and I really appreciated that. We have over 200 stores and service providers that are in our manual, and you can get a copy of our manual. We do have hard copies of it, but you can also get a copy of the manual by going to our website, which is www.morriscountyclerk.org, and going to the veterans section, and you can pull the whole manual off of there, or just go in there and browse and look for it.
She was so into it that she was sending me out to go pick them up. So I said, wait a minute, I'm the mayor, but that's okay. Our veterans deserve, you know, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and we had some veterans organizations who became involved too. So it was a successful program. And we also do the veterans, we do a veterans, for the veterans to file their documents with us. We do go out on the road. And I think we came here when you had your veterans.
Yeah, you did it right in town hall.
Right, and we did a lot of applications then. So we're trying to make it more convenient for people to access the county clerk's office. We're located in Morristown at 10 Court Street, but anyone who's been to Morristown knows that there's no parking, so you have to pay for parking. And believe it or not, the building is on a hill. So from wherever you park, you have to walk up a hill. And you know, for people who are elderly, that's a very hard thing for them to do. So we're trying to take not only the veterans ID program out on the road, but we're also taking the passport program on the road. And we're scheduled to be in Butler on, let me just see, 328 at the Butler Library. We'll be there from 3 to 7:30 p.m.
Now, another thing that you maintain the receipts of property, records of property, land, deeds, and mortgages that date back all the way to the 1700s.
Yes, I do. Right now you can access property records back to 1969. We are in the midst of a special project because I would like to get everything put online so that you actually, right now you can go online to our office, on our web, and pull up your own mortgages and deeds, and if there's any liens, the cancellation of mortgages, anything related to your property is online back to 1969. There are some, obviously we have ancient documents from the 1700s. They're stored off-site, and I'm not so sure that we would be able to handle those documents in order to get them up online. But we haven't gotten back to the documents in 1700s yet. But we looked into companies who would be able to do, put all of the other documents online, but it would have been at a price of about $300,000, and that wasn't even the whole process that you need to do in order to, you have to link the documents and do certain things. So we decided to take the project on and do it with my existing staff, and we're working diligently on it. So we're hoping to get it done before.
What's the size of your staff?
I have 38 people as my staff,
okay,
and I have one of the things, I encourage people just to come down to our office because we have this one office called The Vault. It is a huge room. It has all the paper documents, the mortgages, the deeds. Anyone can come into our office if they want to research anything, historical purposes, or they just want to research their property or their own buildings. And we have computers set up to do that, so you can come right in, type in and access it. It's a really fascinating room. We also have some old maps from the 17 and 1800s of some of the towns. But before I forget, we also have copies of the charters of all the towns. And I would like to present this charter to you, Mayor.
Thank you.
It's the charter from Parsippany-Troy Hills.
Thank
which was
you.
founded in, what, 1928?
Yep.
And that's
Established in
the original
1928.
charter.
Wow. I know my name won't be in that one. 1928. We were part of Hanover Township at the time.
Right.
Thank
And
you so
that's
much.
the charter that
Thank you.
establishes Parsippany. And this one happens to be typed, so I'm assuming they had some kind of typewriter in 1928.
28.
But ones prior to that are handwritten.
Wow.
And
all those whereases, that must have been rough back then.
oh yeah, and it's beautifully written. I mean, the handwriting is just beautiful.
I think it was maybe 4,000 residents in Parsippany, maybe less.
There was all different, and you know why we separated from Hanover? It's the same reason why we're still fighting today over schools.
Oh,
The Hanover, Troy, the Troy Village section, Parsippany was an economic engine, and so we paid a lot of taxes to Hanover.
Right.
And they promised us that we would have our own school. And when they didn't give us our own school, we decided to separate ourselves.
Right.
So it's the same story. We're still fighting over taxes, over how to fund the schools.
That's right.
And that was not that I know that they had talked about it before then, but that was that was the driving.
Right.
That was like the nail.
Right, because the bulk of the taxes coming from Parsippany, right?
To pay
that
for the
makes
schools,
sense.
and we didn't have a school in Parsippany, so.
Well, clerk, my favorite Morris County clerk, Ann Grossi, and I have to tell you, Ann Grossi is wonderful for all the towns, even in Parsippany here. You know, anytime I reach out to the clerk's office or I send a resident there, they always come back. Thank you so much. Great job over there, Miss Grossi's, and you are, and you're. I will say this: when we ran together, and when you told me you were going to run for clerk, you were built to be the clerk. You were born to be the clerk. You're the right person to be the clerk. And all the residents of Morris County made the right decision because I know you for years, and I know how dedicated you are to your job. So you were dedicated as a councilwoman. So that being said, I thank you for coming on the show with me today. And I want to thank all the residents of Parsippany for tuning in again. It's really nice to be here as the mayor, but it's really nice to be here with a friend. So that makes it that much more richer in my heart, and it really is great. So thank you. And until next time, God bless you all.